IKEA's founder was a Nazi. Not a rumor, not an accusation. The Swedish secret police had a classified file on him. Here's what it said. 1943. A 17-year-old kid named Ingvar Kamprad signs up for Svensk Socialistisk Samling, Sweden's most extreme Nazi party. His membership number is 4014. The security police intercept his letters. He's bragging about recruiting new members. He writes that he misses no opportunity to work for the movement. They open a file on him. The file is labeled Memorandum Concerning Nazi. It's stamped secret. 6 days after that memo reaches Stockholm police, Kamprad registers a company called IKEA. But here's where this becomes something more than a founder with a dark past. Because living in the Kamprad family house at that exact moment, sleeping under the same roof, eating at the same table, was a Jewish teenager named Otto Ullmann. Otto had been sent to Sweden from Austria as a child to escape the Nazis. His parents put him on a transport, hoping he'd survive what they might not. He was placed with the Kamprad family. He and Ingvar became best friends, and Ingvar made him IKEA's very first employee. So picture this: a Jewish refugee working for a family whose son is secretly attending Nazi meetings and writing letters about how many new recruits he's signed up. And in 1944, while Otto is working on the Kamprad farm, his parents, Elise and Josef Ullmann, are transported from Theresienstadt to Auschwitz. They are murdered. Otto doesn't find out for 2 years. He's building IKEA while his parents are dying in a death camp, killed by the ideology his best friend actively supported. And if you think this is just a tragic coincidence from the 1940s, it's not. Because what Kamprad did after the war was even worse. After the war ended, after the concentration camps were liberated, after the entire world saw what the Nazis had done, Ingvar Kamprad didn't walk away. He went deeper. He attached himself to Per Engdahl, one of the most dangerous fascists in post-war Europe. Engdahl had built an underground network to smuggle Nazi war criminals out of Europe. He organized fascist movements across the continent. He published a journal that denied the Holocaust ever happened. And Kamprad called this man BB, Best Brother. In 1951, Kamprad invited Engdahl to his wedding. The man who smuggled Nazis out of Europe. The man who published Holocaust denial literature. Kamprad wanted him standing there on the happiest day of his life, and he wrote letters praising Engdahl's political manifesto, a book that called for the renewal of fascism in Europe. This wasn't a teenager's mistake. Kamprad was 25 years old. He was a successful businessman. He knew exactly what Engdahl stood for, and he chose him anyway. Meanwhile, IKEA was growing. Kamprad introduced flat-pack furniture in 1956, the idea that would change the industry forever. He opened the first IKEA store in 1958. The company exploded, and as IKEA grew, Kamprad built a public persona, the humble billionaire. He drove a 1993 Volvo. He flew economy class. He recycled tea bags. He ate at IKEA cafeterias. He wanted the world to see a simple, frugal Swedish man who just wanted to make furniture affordable for everyone, and the world believed him. The mask held for decades, until 1994. That year, fascist leader Per Engdahl died, and when his personal letters were published, Kamprad's name was all over them. The world learned for the first time that IKEA's beloved founder had deep ties to a Holocaust denier. Kamprad scrambled. He wrote a letter to every IKEA employee calling it the greatest mistake of my life. He blamed his grandmother for radicalizing him as a child. He called it youthful stupidity. And it worked. IKEA was too big, too beloved. The story faded. Kamprad thought it was over. It wasn't over, because in 2010, a journalist sat down with Kamprad for what was supposed to be a friendly interview. She asked him about his old friend Otto Ullmann. Kamprad was happy to talk. Then she found the classified file, and what happened next would crack the IKEA myth wide open. Journalist Elisabeth Åsbrink had been researching Otto Ullmann's life story when she found something nobody expected in the Swedish National Archives, Kamprad's classified security police file from 1943. The file was proof. Not a rumor, not hearsay. An official government document proving that Kamprad was an active member and recruiter for Sweden's Nazi party. When she confronted Kamprad with the file, he shut down completely. He refused to cooperate further. He refused to explain how he could be friends with Otto while recruiting for the movement that murdered Otto's parents. Åsbrink pressed him one final time. She asked, "How could you stay loyal to Per Engdahl, a man who denied the Holocaust, while remaining friends with Otto Ullmann, whose parents were murdered in it?" Kamprad's answer, recorded in 2010. "There's no contradiction as far as I'm concerned. Per Engdahl was a great man, and I'll maintain that as long as I live." Åsbrink published her book in 2011. It made headlines worldwide. IKEA took a full month to respond. When they finally did, they didn't address the Nazi file directly. Instead, they made a donation, $51 million to the United Nations Refugee Agency. It was the largest donation in IKEA's history. Critics called it what it looked like, hush money dressed up as charity. And then something even stranger happened. Kamprad's classified police file, the one Åsbrink had found in the Swedish National Archives, disappeared. Otto Ullmann lived the rest of his life in Sweden. After he died, his daughter found a box in storage, an IKEA box. Inside were over 500 letters. Letters from Otto's parents, Elise and Josef, written to their son from Austria, from occupied Europe, from a world that was closing in on them. Letters from parents to a child they'd never see again. The irony is almost unbearable. The last traces of Otto's murdered parents were stored inside a box made by the company his best friend built. A company born in the same year, from the same household, as a Nazi membership card. Some boxes hold furniture instructions. This one held 500 goodbyes. The next brand we're investigating is one you probably use every single day. Its secret is different. No war, no politics, just pure corporate greed that cost thousands of lives. Subscribe so you don't miss it.